All right, joined by Leon Rice, head coach of Boise State. And Leon, the Southwest Airlines Maui Invitational is historically been one of the best tournaments, if not the best, of all conference tournaments. I don't care what's going on around us in college basketball, it still resonates across the country. What kind of value do you put into this event, especially this event in Maui?
Well, Andy, I was fortunate with my years at Gonzaga. We played in the Maui three times. And, we were involved in maybe one of the people asked me to this day, what's the greatest game you've ever been involved in? Well, it was us and Michigan State in Maui. And I think it was four overtimes. Both teams played nearly perfect. I thought it was referees were perfect. The weather was perfect. I mean, it's as close in athletics you can get to a perfect day, and and then we won, so that makes it ultra perfect. But two great teams, but it's always been, in my estimation, the best MTE and the best multi-team tournament in the greatest place on the planet. It's when we were young at Gonzaga, it's kind of how myself, Coach Few, Coach Lloyd, we all fell in love with Maui. And to this day, we have those reunions back there every year. So when I got this job, it was always my mission to get the Broncos good enough where we were in Maui. And, we've grown as a program over the years. And I think it's a milestone to get your team in this kind of tournament.
It's a, obviously it's a sort of the Lahaina Civic Center, tight kind of high school-esque gym. But what I love also is because it's so small, the fan bases all come in for each game. So you're sort of guaranteeing a packed house with two fan bases, and obviously there's some neutral fans mixed in, but every game, I don't care if it's the Monday or late on Wednesday, they all have great environments. What do you remember about those environments?
Oh, the best. And like you said, that, we all go around and play in these giant arenas and neutral site games that don't have the emotion of a game like that's played in that Lahaina Civic Center. I mean, because it kind of takes you back to the old school. Your locker room is separated by a curtain and you're just in there stretching. So it kind of gives the purity of basketball, but at the highest level with big time teams. So I think as coaches, we all appreciate that.
You've got an opening game against USC. I think it's arguably one of the best first rounds of any non-conference tournament that you'll have. And one thing we see is that when you go to these events, if you can win that first game, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to play three Division One teams. Excuse me, high major or tournament-like Division One teams. Obviously, if you lose, then it puts a little pressure on that second game to make sure you have a quality third game. What is it about that first game in these events and this specific one against USC?
Yeah, there's a lot there, no doubt. And you play in these events to get those opportunities and those resume builders. And we start off with a great one. SC's loaded up. Muss always does a great job, especially in the portal. He's going to go out and get a lot of guys. He's going to go out and get good players. And, you know, his teams, they always seem to play good early because he just gets them to play hard. And, he and I have a history. He was at Nevada, so we've competed against each other. I think we have a good respect for each other, good friendship. But I know what we're in store for. He's going to have a lot of talent on that floor, and they'll play hard.
Your roster got a little bit retooled after last season. What should we expect when we get to Maui with the Broncos?
That's a good question. It's it this day and age, when you're just looking around the league and you're studying the other teams, and you used to have a feel for, well, I think this team's going to be, you could kind of break down the league and put guys pretty close to where they were going to end up. This day and age, you just don't know. You don't know how the chemistry is going to click. You don't know how they're going to respond to your system, your coaching, how they respond to each other. What I've seen with our guys is terrific. We got high character guys that want to be coached, that want to play together. So I love where we're at right now, but I do feel a sense of urgency because this is coming quick. And those quality games in November mean something. I think, we got hurt last year. We were right there on the bubble, and we got hurt by a bad loss in November. And you wouldn't have expected to be a bad loss. It was an MTE event, and it was in the championship game against the ACC school, but it ended up being a quad four loss. So those games in November are so important now, for your resume and for the numbers.
Boise State's always had a great traveling fan base. What's kind of the mood you've seen of fans that want to go to Maui over Thanksgiving?
Yeah, there's a lot of people excited about it, and I think we're going to have a great group that goes out with us, and they don't even know what they're in for because they haven't been to this event. But I bet the ones that go this time will be blown away by the where the event is. First of all, if you haven't been there, it's my one of my favorite places on the planet. And then secondly, the quality of games and the quality of teams that you're going to see with a lot of teams that are going to end up being top 25 teams as the year goes on.
All right, Leon, we can't wait to see you in Maui.
It's going to be great. Can't wait. We're counting down the days. I know that we got a lot of work to do between now and then. We got a lot of games between now and then, but it's going to be a special week in Maui.